Oh boy, we're getting some more rain.
Oh no, it's babies. Little kids scrambling in the mud. And somebody somebody in a literal Speedo in the background behind them, if you can see that.
This year's edition of the Burning Man Festival is officially doomed.
Yeah, more like Flooding Man indeed.
Weekend, a massive sandstorm destroyed hundreds of tents, tore apart shade structures, and severely damaged multiple art installations. The dust had barely settled when the next disaster struck upon the festival.
Literally,
Multiple art installations.
Literally just a fuck you Elon art structure. Wow.
The dust had barely settled when the next disaster struck upon the festival. Not one, but multiple heavy rainstorms, turning the playa into a miserable pool of mud.
Uh-oh, this is not good.
On Sunday,
And this is in the fucking desert. This is in the desert. As if this is happening in the desert during Burning Man, everyone's getting flooded out. What the hell?
evening, roughly 24 hours after the dust storm, heavy rain swept over Black Rock City, transforming the flat desert floor into something entirely different. Unlike most places,
Of course he's wearing those goddamn toe shoes that you can see all of his, all 5 toes. Of course.
this Nevada desert has no natural drainage systems. It's a completely flat surface covered with alkaline dust. Out there, water doesn't drain, nor does it soak in. It mixes with the fine dust and forms a thick, clay-like mud. Within hours, the playa turned into a 7-mile-wide bowl of sludge that clung to everything: shoes, tires, bikes, tents. One witness described the chaos.
So just walking the 10 feet or so over from the tent to the car, all these footprints, just look at my boots. Like, it's kind of heavy to pick my foot up. There's that much extra weight on there.
Camps that had just rebuilt after the sandstorm now faced a new battle, keeping their shelter
So they had a sandstorm first. Great.
dry as water seeped in through every gap. The next night, as more rain fell in sheets and puddles spread across the city, the danger almost turned deadly. A man stepped into a waterlogged section of the playa and suffered a suspected electrocution. First responders suspected lightning struck the victim, but further reports discovered electrical equipment had been running nearby.
I was thinking that it's probably an electrical wire in the water, and obviously that current will travel to any water that is touching the water that's touching that cord or whatever it might be. God damn.
When the standing water became energized, the man collapsed instantly. Emergency crews rushed to his side and airlifted him to a trauma center outside the desert. The shocking incident led organizers to issue urgent warnings. As more rain fell from the sky, elevate your gear, keep generators out of puddles, tape off your cords, and under no circumstances walk barefoot in the water. The festival's mantra of self-reliance can mean life or death when weather changes the rules of the game. For everyone else, the rain left misery in its wake. Playa mud doesn't brush off. It sticks like cement to everything.
That sucks.
Boots gained several kilos of extra weight. Bikes, normally the main way to get around the 7-mile-wide city, became nothing more than dead weight. The playa got filled with left-behind bikes as attendants restored to their final means of transportation: walking.
What is actually happening?
With the desert sand turned to a sandy slushy, organizers had to shut down almost all amenities.
All the activities are shut down. We all slept all night with no house music bumping. Everything stopped because of that. It's horrible.
Inside tents and RVS, the mud tracked everywhere. On sleeping bags, in cooking spaces, across the floor of art cars. One longtime burner said, "We thought the dust was bad, but..."
They're called burners. I didn't realize that. If you are going to Burning Man and you're setting up a camp and you're staying, you're a burner. Nice.
This just followed us everywhere. It's in my bed, it's on my clothes. There's no escape. Another gave up after 10 burns. I quit. This year broke me. It wasn't fun, it was survival. The weather only added to the sense of exhaustion. Days were already cool under cloud cover, and once the sun went down, the desert plunged into its typical chill. Nights turned bone cold with damp clothes and wet bedding. Festival goers, many used to wearing as little as possible in the daytime heat, now
Of
shivered
course.
in jackets and makeshift rain gear. Illness became a constant worry. People spoke of friends coughing, sniffling, and heading home early rather than face more nights of rain-soaked cold. The infamous
It's like that dust. Are you serious? This is a thing? Oh no.
Orgy Dome, already damaged in the earlier dust storm, got destroyed again by the heavy rain and had to close for good.
Oh, you can literally tell that it's real. Like, look at the interior of this.
Here's the deal. The rain is destroying demonic activity. Because of the rain, the orgy tent was destroyed.
The misery extended to the airport as well. Dozens of small planes were grounded, with only emergency flights allowed in or out. Some operations resumed by Monday.
Look at that shit from the sky, though. How incredibly constructed that is. Like, actually, that's pretty impressive. It looks like the Death Star or something. Although it's not a sphere. But it's like, that's pretty neat. They did a pretty good job. And that's what I was going to say, is that like Burning Man's really cool in that way where it has its own sort of people that kind of like police the place. It's like its own town. Whenever it's set up, it's like its own town and community, and it has all of its own little things to it. It's really neat because Burning Man lasts a while.
More than just planes. Whenever extreme weather hits, the festival gates are forced to close. During the dust storm, this led to an immense pileup of festival goers waiting to get in. A 5-hour wait turned into 15 hours for thousands.
I love people.
And with dust blowing in through every crack, many were completely unprepared and had to sit through a real-life nightmare. Then came the rain, and the gates closed once again. The access road turned unstable, swallowing wheels and dragging down anything that wasn't a heavy-duty truck. Smaller cars and RVs stood no chance.
Oh yeah, they can't even get out now. Of course.
Once the tyres dug in, they were stuck for good. Organisers urged drivers to hold back, to wait until the surface dried enough to make it safely across. Of course, plenty tried anyway. Vehicles buried themselves axle deep, wheels spinning helplessly. One by one, they had to be pulled out, rescued by bystanders. For many, the conditions were too much. Social media filled with complaints, photos of mud-caked feet, and frustrated posts announcing early departures. Others stayed, determined to push through. But even veterans admitted this was one of the most difficult burns they had ever faced.
All right, this is Pele Bunny reporting live from Burning Man.
80-mile-an-hour winds have taken our galvanized steel shade structure down to the ground. Almost flat, the poles are bent. Tell me, when nature says, get out, what do? You tip the f*** out. I think we need to get the f*** out of here. Look at the dust in here. It's dustier inside this bus than outside.
Another Burning Man mantra is...
That is not good to
"Leave no
breathe
trace
in."
behind." Unfortunately, although this is mostly respected during normal editions, the extreme weather conditions left some people with little or no choice. Trash was lost or dumped, entire cars broke down, burned out, and were abandoned. This year's edition of Burning Man undoubtedly left a sour aftertaste for many attendees. Is a $550 ticket really worth it? Will this be my final Burning Man festival? Or will we forget the bad and do it all over again next year? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more daily extreme weather updates, leave a like and subscribe to the...
I don't know. I mean, I would say that if everybody leading up to this year's had a good time, then this is probably not going to be like a typical occurrence. That's what I would say. And I think it's 550 because it's such a long period of time. Like, you're not just talking one day of festival. You're paying to like set up camp, have all these extra amenities. You're having multiple days of multiple bands every single day. The experience. It's a huge festival. You know, like, I can see kind of how they justify it. It's still a lot, though. It's still a lot, you know. It certainly is. But I mean, like, how much is one Taylor Swift ticket for one day? for like a 2-hour show. Isn't it like at least half that, or if not exactly that? Remy, you went? That's sick. That's sick. MCR was 400. There you go. Yeah. If you're a big draw, you can do it. You can do it. And it's exactly right. Like, a festival's different. You pay a few hundred because you're going to probably go watch like 10 of your favorite bands, you know? At least 10 of your favorite bands.